Hey, folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Tuesday, April 27th, 2010. Well, folks, the markets are getting hammered today. Biggest down day in quite some time in the markets. The big question is, are we going to hold the downside? Oftentimes, we'll see downside early in the day only to reverse to the upside by the end of the day and close flat to higher. Now, again, so far that's not happening today. The SPY is down $1.80. Dow is down 126 points. NASDAQ down 31. And the S&P 500 down 17.5. Basically, 1 to 1.5% across the board on the indexes. Now, what's driving the downside today? Well, there's a bunch of different factors here. First of all, you had some earnings and extension in markets. Now, overall, most of the earnings were decent. You had 3M really leading the charge today to the upside, and this is one of the key stocks that's keeping the Dow from being down much more. In fact, this is probably about 10 points in the Dow right here, so you would have to subtract. If this was flat, you subtract another 10 points from the Dow right now. As you can see, 3M up $1.40 on the day. Other stocks that reported earnings, DuPont, that is under pressure today, down about 99 cents. And the bottom line is this, folks. The markets have been up, and away now since the February 5th low in this market. Technically speaking, it's an insane overbought situation. However, the markets, because of light volume up until today, have been able to fight to the upside and continue to grind higher. However, there were key signals that developed yesterday that I highlighted to my premium subscribers of the Research Center and the Intraday Stock Chat. And that was really the telltale sign that something could be on the horizon for today. And I'm going to go over that because I do think, technically speaking, this is one of the biggest things you need to look for in the charts when you're in a situation where the markets are overbought like this. And in actuality, that signal is what's called a topping tail. And what I'm going to do here is flip to a stock called Home Depot. We should all be aware of this stock. And I want to show you what happened yesterday and what I alerted to my premium subscribers so they could make money on this trade and all the other trades as well that I alerted them to. First of all, this is yesterday's candle. This is the daily chart of Home Depot. You can see the major extension move here. It's just an unbelievably extended chart. So that's number one. But an extended chart can remain extended for long periods of time. Now, the second factor here, folks, was the tail yesterday on the chart. This is called a topping tail. And a topping tail is a reversal signal, especially when it happens after such an extension move. And I highlighted this to my traders and the Research Center subscribers, which are investors and swing traders, as a major signal that you could see more downside on Home Depot. In addition, I saw it on LOW, which is kind of a sister company of Home Depot as well. Notice the topping tail there, long tail on the top with a close in the lower 25% of that candle. These are all signals that a reversal is in tune and should be occurring very shortly. Sure enough, look at the candle today. All right, so again, timestamped on our website under the hot charts and alerts, which again, Research Center subscribers have view of everything listed under the Research Center. But this was put out the other day. We talked about this last night. I posted this last night to look for this today. And look at the drop on lows today. An unbelievable drop of $1 on this $28 stock, now just $27 after a dollar drop today. Home Depot I showed you just before. Other stocks that I noticed this on, and this was the key, guys. I mean, you'll have a topping tail on a chart here and there. I mean, one topping tail here today, maybe one next week, maybe one tomorrow. But the question was, and what struck me so in tune with this market possibly having a down day today, was the fact that I saw it on multiple charts. Not only Home Depot and Lowe's, but take a look at Pru, Prudential. Totally different sectors. So that's the key. You're not just seeing a topping tail in one sector like the Home Depot, kind of the builders and that kind of thing, topping tail situation. You're seeing it in Prudential here, life health insurance type plays. Topping tail, look at the downside today. These are key signals after extension plays that are telling you that this market is on the verge of collapsing to the downside. And sure enough, we're seeing that today with an over 100-point loss on the Dow Jones Industrials and over a 1% loss across the board on all the indexes. Now, again, the question remains, are we going to see confirmation? We saw the S&P and the NASDAQ lower yesterday. If we see today a close below, that would signal a possibility of confirmation. However, the Dow was not down yesterday, so therefore the Dow cannot confirm today as well. We need to keep an eye on that. Dow can put the first part of the confirmation in today. We won't know until tomorrow if it confirms as well. Also, HIG. Take a look at HIG. Topping tail yesterday, and look at the downside today. So you guys see how this pattern plays out over and over again. And again, these are all these four stocks I'm pointing out to you were posted yesterday for our premium subscribers when it happened, so they could get on board for the drop and make some money to the downside. Now, there were other stocks as well that were pointed out on the hot charts and alerts, other stocks on the Pro Trader watch list. All of that has full access to the Research Center. But bottom line is, SanDisk was called out as a possible drop. It is down $1.38. We called it out as of the close of Friday here at a price of about $44.50 or so. Sure enough, look at that downside move. It's back to about $42, $3 drop there. SPG, we also highlighted on the weekly and monthly charts as being a massive level here. Look at this chart. This is one of the charts that we posted, and this was telling us based off the monthly chart connecting the 2007 high to the 2008 high. Also tells us 2010 high is possibly the top here in the short term. So again, these are just short-term plays, but nonetheless big money makers for the research center players and the intraday stock chat members as well. SPG, Simon Properties Group, is down about $1.45 today, coming in beautifully. Now, having said that, there were long plays in this market that we took and played and made some good money on. Not only were there scalps intraday in the intraday stock chat, but one of them I gave out today was a small cap, CAEI. China Architectural Engineering. Gave it out right here at about $1.15. It ran to $1.27 from my members, and again, most of them taking about 10 cents on that play. Beautiful done, beautifully done, and making some good money on the long side of that small cap. And again, there seems to be a small cap or a couple small caps every day making big moves to the upside. We have been on top of almost all of them, making huge percentages across the board. Now, some other stocks in play here. Obviously, Chevron is getting hammered today down $1.78. Take a look at Chevron's chart. I find this fascinating on the daily chart as well because, again, if you take a look at the daily chart, you can see you were able to take out this little double top right here, and you're now back below it. Notice how you got above here and a little bit of a tail on top yesterday as well. Could be a little signal that this was going to fall as well. Just do you guys see how all these tails are showing up? I mean, almost every chart on the daily chart we're going to, you're seeing tail after tail after tail. That's all bearish topping tail type stuff. And look at the downside on Chevron today, down $1.76. Exxon overall is holding up a little better than Chevron, down about 48 cents. But still, look at that tail through the 200 moving average today. That is a big-time sell candle. Again, the stock was trading all the way up here, and by now it's come all the way back in, back below the 200. It cannot break above the 200 right now, and that's another decent indicator that this market is needing a little bit of a pullback. All right, big trend line here on Exxonmobil as well. Look at this trend line. See this trend line? You hit it here, 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 and here, and here, and even here. And once this breaks, this is what you're really looking at as support. This is going to be support down here on the Exxon Daily. If that breaks, you're looking for this chart to hit the 50 moving average. Wherever the 50 moving average is in that time frame, whenever it does come down here, that will be your big support level on the Exxonmobil as well. So keep an eye on these charts, guys. Right now, there's some big happenings. I'm going to go back to the SPY. We're going to focus on the intraday technicals on the intraday chart. I'm not going to go over daily charts much because, again, that's for the premium members at night. I do a 40-minute long video every night of hardcore technicals, new every single night of the market week, Monday through Friday. And again, we discuss all this kind of stuff on the daily, weekly, monthly, oil, gold, the dollar, you name it, it's all discussed. And again, that's in the Research Center subscribers for all of you guys to view every night. Now, here it is. Today, the market gaps lower. What you have to like about yesterday was the first day in quite some time, literally months. I looked back as much as a month on the chart, and yesterday was the first day we closed at the lows or near the lows of the day. All other days, you might have been down on the day, but you ended up rallying off the lows. And I want to just show you an example of that. For instance, a week ago from last Friday, we had that big sell-off when Goldman Sachs was charged with a civil fraud, sold off here, but by the end of the day, we rallied off the lows. Even on Monday, you came down, made a new low, and then you rallied off the lows, closing basically flat to positive. So you never could close at the lows of the day until yesterday. And that's another good signal about why the market was due for a little bit of a secondary down move. It was the first sign of weakness we had seen in this market in some time. Now, after that close, as you can see, you had a nice sharp drop here, and then you had an in spirit of bear flag, kind of choppy sideways trading. We talked about this in the intraday stock chat towards the end of the day. We decided whether or not we were going to see a little downside, and sure enough, you did see downside, a gap down to support. Right here was called support in the intraday stock chat. Market rallied off that. $120 spot 65 was really the support level right here. As you can see, it gaps there and gets a move up. The nice thing about this move up, though, is it takes you just underneath gap fill, and you never get to gap fill. That was something that was a very weak signal. I was actually looking to short that. Didn't quite get there on the intraday stock chat, but sure enough, it came right up underneath there, and then the fall started to happen. Now, again, why is the fall happening here? Goldman Sachs is getting grilled on Capitol Hill by the Senate, guys. Bottom line, that's not good. You're seeing a lot of grilling going on. You're seeing markets, again, start to fear financial regulation. In addition, Portugal's debt rating downgraded. Greece still has problems. The contagion is now looking more and more possible in Europe. And again, these are all things that we talked about over the last couple of weeks, but the market does not have enough volume until today really to have it play out. Today, what I want you guys to watch for is where do we close? You'd like to see a close near the lows. Doesn't have to be at the lows, but you'd like to see it near the lows of the day as a close. That would be a bearish indicator going forward. Not necessarily that Wednesday or Thursday will be a down day, What it means, though, is there is a possibility of more downside in the near term. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe we get a pause day tomorrow, but then you should see continued downside. These are all little technical factors that we're watching. Now, again, we'll have to see where this market closes. If you rally all the way up and close flat on the day, that's a very bullish signal. And we have to remember that one as well. So there's a lot of different things that we'll be watching. I will be analyzing this all as we get into the end of the day, into the nightly video for our Research Center subscribers. More plays will go up. More winning plays will go up. We'll continue to spit them out as we continue in this market to analyze it and give you the hardcore technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Have a wonderful day. I encourage you to come join the Research Center. Come join the chat room. Come to inthemoneystocks.com. I'll see you tonight, guys. Take care.